Hello, teacher and classmates. Today we are going to talk about the sentences and their most common problems. We are going to be seeing some examples. Also, because as a student, sometimes we make mistakes when we have to write a paragraph or we have to write an essay or just in a simple sentence, we make those mistakes. So I'm going to share my screen to share some helpful information. So in this presentation, I'm also sharing a link from YouTube that can help us to understand a little bit better what I'm going to explain with some examples in more detail. The first sentence that we have is the sentence fragment, which is basically a sentence that must have a subject and a verb and be a complete thought. When a dependent clause or a phrase that is present as a sentence, it is called for us a fragment. This dependent clause is also called a subordinate clause, and the most common problem is with the subordinate clause. So we have here an example that says, I sent Dahlia to the store, period, because we would run out the milk. There is a mistake because sometimes we tend to thought that it is two sentences. But basically, and as I said, that's where I'm sharing the concept, the fragment sentences is just one. You have to be understood as a one sentence. So we don't need here a period before the because. So the correct way, as I'm sharing here in my screen, should be I sent Dahlia to the store because we run out of milk, period. That's it. We don't need to, in the middle of the sentence, to put a period because it will separate the sentence and won't have the same meaning. The second one, is the choppy sentence. The choppy sentence, as I maybe sound a little bit familiar, is a series or very, very short sentences. And usually people tend to make mistakes adding those into a paragraph or adding those into an essay. It makes it difficult to really understand because it's just a following line of little short sentences. How we avoid those? Simple, by using transitional words between those sentences that will help us to just make a combined sentence and make it clear to the reader and make it easy to understand. So we have to check whether all sentences have a simple subject. For example, we have here, he got out of bed, period, he had something to eat. Instead of putting all those things, we can just combine this short topic sentence and make a one combined sentence which will sound, he got out of bed and had something to eat. The transitional word that we use here in this sentence is and, but we can use different ones like so, but, whatever, however, and many others that make us easier to just make one sentence. The other one is the comma splice. It occurs when an independent clause are not separated with a period or joined with a comma and a coordinate conjunction. With two independent clauses connected by a transitional phrase or a conjunctive adverb. We have here an example, which is a common mistake that people make. It says the government make a drastic cuts to the education and social programs. However, comma, it did not raise the corporate taxes. So a comma cannot be just used to join the two independent clauses connected by a conjunction verb. So the correct way to say this would be the government make a drastic cuts to education and social programs, semicolon, however, comma, it did not raise corporate taxes. We have to be careful whenever we write those sentences because we have to use the appropriate signs to make it easy to understand as well. So at the last one, we have the run out sentences that whenever we hear the word fuse, it is also the same. Run on or fuse sentences. Those are appropriate punctuation is required to join two independent clauses. A run or pause sentences occur when this punctuation is completely absent. As a typical mistake, we have Henry bought the Christmas tree. Lois put it up and decorated. It doesn't make sense at all. It's just like a mix of things. So the correct way to say this, the correct way to do this would be Henry bought the Christmas tree, semicolon. Lois put it up and decorated. Here we are not using a transitional word or the other words that we did to separate sentence, however, whatever. We just adding two independent clause, but we are putting the right punctuation to make it easy to understand. As a tip, before writing something, before make sure of something, we have to read and see if it is easy to understand for us. So it's gonna be easy to understand for other people as well. Here are the reference I use for this presentation. I hope you could understand my explanation. And as I said at the beginning, below, I sharing a YouTube video that make it easy to understand. When we get to understand which are the common mistakes, it will make it easier for us to write sentences, to write paragraph, to write essays without any mistakes. And also not as good just for us, but also for the people who will read this information. It will be clear, concise, and also direct for them and easy to understand. Thank you.